Greetings, movie fans, and you're all very welcome to the Big Reviewski with Omniplex Cinemas. My name's Owen, and we got no time for fancy introductions this week. That's Justine. Don't no time to say hello. That's Rory. That's Paul. Because there's one thing and one thing only that we're all here for. It's the review, friendship. Yeah. Yeah, friendship. Yeah, it is friendship. I love you guys.
Don't speak for me.
It is, of course. It's the week that we're reviewing Avengers. Again, I can't get friendship. Avengers friendship out of my head. So that's coming up later on in the show. Rory has had a chance to see the film, and this week you're allowed to talk about it.
I am allowed to talk about it, but I feel there's like a sniper dot somewhere on me at all times if I say anything that is even remotely spoilery. So it's going to be a tight rope walk.
Don't ruin the end game. Don't ruin the end game.
We can edit Rory's on-screen death out of the show if he does talk about it, right?
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Just kick me away.
And we also have the stars of Avengers Endgame as well. Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson and Paul Rudd coming up. Don't worry, we'll rattle through them. They're not important. It's all about the review. But before all that, if you'd like to get us in touch, and bear in mind we will not be getting back to you because we don't have time to get back to you. It's Twitter at Big Reviewski, or you can get us on Instagram as well. My mammy actually follows the show now on Twitter. She follows 3 people. 1, the Big Reviewski. 2,
That's not a person.
2, Justine Stafford.
What?
My mommy follows you.
Hat fan.
Yeah. She doesn't follow any of us.
You better follow her back
She
now.
doesn't follow you.
She doesn't follow me.
Your mother doesn't follow you.
She says she doesn't know how it works. The third person or thing that she follows is some housing agency in Canterbury in England. And I'm like, what? Why do you do that? So those are the 3.
Can we get your can we actually ditch the Avengers interviews and just get your mom in to
And
talk
just get my
about
mommy in instead
her
to talk
Twitter
us through.
choices?
Yeah,
Mrs.
100%.
Doherty
Bring her in on the
reviews
friendship.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
She can get in on the friendship.
Yeah.
so she can like one of her tweets basically. But she's there.
Oh, I'm going to follow her back now.
Happy
This is
days.
great.
Thanks very much. Just follow the rest. Follow Rory and Paul
Follow
and
your
me.
son.
And me as well, please. Thanks, Mammy. So we've got all that. We've got prizes to give away. We're going to be announcing the winner of our Avengers Endgame premiere tickets. Somebody has won those tickets. They've spotted the connection between our high clues over the past couple of weeks. As well, that we'll have other Omniplex tickets to give away as well. But before all of that, it's time for the big question. I know we said we were in a rush. We're just going to slow things back down and go. Just take it easy. And it's time for the big question on the Big Reviewski. And this week it's over to me, Owen Doherty, for the
Nice
big
throw to
question.
yourself there.
Yeah, no, thanks, Owen. Cheers. Caught it. So I want to know, basically, for the week that's in it, and we've had conversations around this before, but this is the definitive one. What is your favourite scene in Showgirls? What is your favourite Marvel movie to celebrate the release of Avengers Endgame? I'll just throw mines out there. Mine's. It's not a secret.
No, it's plural.
No. My first one. No, it's from 2012. It is the Joss Whedon directed Avengers Assemble. I mean, I know there's so many amazing films over the course of like the 22 films, well, including Endgame, that have been released. Some phenomenal. Has there ever been any really weak ones? I know Ironman 2 gets a kind of a bad rap. Thor 2
The
definitely
Incredible
gets a bad
Hulk
rap.
was a bit of a CGI mess by the end as well.
So there are weak ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, like
On average.
yeah, 3 out of 22 ain't bad.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about the 22nd one later on.
Oh, we'll see about this one. Ooh.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Friendship. So Avengers Assemble, as I said, came out in 2012, and the reason I loved this film so much, it was the coming together of the Avengers initiative. You had the individual films for Iron Man and for Hulk, for Thor and for Captain America as well. And this was it. Nick Fury had assembled all our heroes, and Hawkeye and Black Widow, of course. And basically, that film just seemed so huge at the time whenever they all come together for the massive climax of the film in New York. And even looking back at some of the clips now, you're just like, that was so tiny, because Loki is the bad guy.
Yeah. And they'd already beat Loki.
Yeah, exactly. But it was packed full of like amazing moments, especially like the Hulk taking on Loki at the end and doing his whole puny god thing. It just looked incredible. And as we'll see, there's a little clip here, but that iconic moment now where the camera pans around all the heroes and they're all like kind of fixing their gun or their hammer or their shield or whatever. So this is a little look at Avengers Assemble.
How desperate are you? And you call on such lost creatures to defend you.
You have made me very desperate.
We're not a team. We're a time bomb.
This is nothing we were ever trained for.
Justine, are you a fan of Avengers Assemble?
So I went to see that film on a first date, and
Here we go. Sit back, relax.
Tell a story.
It's
Get comfortable.
a little bit tainted because the guy was half an hour late. So I'm just standing there like, oh, I've been stood up. This is what this feels like. And then he showed up and, was like, oh, I get you food. I was like, okay. So I got the popcorn and, got in and the popcorn was finished before we even got to the screen because that's how popcorn.
Of course.
You know how
yeah.
popcorn
You're
goes.
not allowed to eat it in the cinema.
No,
No way.
that's illegal. And then it was good. So I was already kind of at a loss with the storyline because my knowledge of the Marvel world is not as, concise as
Some other people.
Some other people's. So that kind of changed it. And there was never a second date. So it's a bit...
Maybe he's just still late. Maybe he's on his way to the second date. He just hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah. Because I find it... I find it very useful. You see that meme that's going around? It's like showing you what order you should watch the films in.
Yes.
So the Marvel, like that is handy for someone like me who's trying to catch up with everything.
100%.
And also there was a great one going around where just in the middle of it they'd added in Shrek the Third as one of the films. That's
It's a key. There's
key,
some key moments in
So,
there.
yeah.
It's important to break it up.
Could be a spoiler for Endgame.
Definitely.
Shrek is the villain after all. Yeah.
So what did you go for then in terms of your favourite Marvel film?
So in terms of my favourite Marvel film, I went for Deadpool.
Okay.
Oh no, are you telling me this?
Rory, is it time to get out the F?
I'm not. Listen. Well, first of all, it's not supersonic, which is a start. But I love that. Oh, this is
Hang
great.
on, have I got this wrong?
No. Well, yes, but no, it's fine. We'll ask. Let's ask Rory.
It could be Howard the Duck. I mean, like, come on.
So Deadpool is a fantastic. Or why do you like Deadpool so much first?
No, explain to me first. I was so confident. I was legit so confident going into this. I was like, I've nailed it. I've gotten it right this time. Hang on.
Is it
So-
related?
so-
Is it DC? Is it
No,
DC?
it's not. It is Marvel, but I'll pass
Oh,
over to Rory here
explain.
just to.
Oh my god.
Why is Deadpool your favourite MCU movie?
Because he like.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Shrek the Third.
It's about as linked.
This is hilarious. Well, the reason I liked it is because he like breaks the fourth wall
Yeah.
so often and like addresses. I feel like an idiot saying
No.
anything. Oh my God.
It is no. It's because he is a Marvel character.
That's where I got. Oh,
No.
okay,
Technically,
that's the confusion.
yeah, that's it. Because we can talk about favorite Marvel films as opposed to favorite Marvel Cinematic
She knew the
Universe
merger was
films.
coming. It was
That's it.
fine. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
technically,
cool.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
favorite
you
Marvel
did, yeah,
film.
you didn't say MCU in the question.
That's
so
true. That's true. So it's exactly
It's
right.
legit.
It's
100%
legit.
correct.
It's legit. It was unexpected.
But surprises are nice. So
Like that's come to be expected with me with these questions, surely.
Even when I expect the unexpected, I still was not expecting that.
So he breaks the fourth wall. Obviously,
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is class.
Well, I mean, that already I was sold, to be honest, when Ryan Reynolds was involved. But
Fair.
I just think there's a lot more humour in it. I don't know, I really like it because he pokes fun at himself and he keeps in that whole Hugh Jackman Wolverine rivalry, and I love that throughout it. And then I just thought the marketing even for it, of like having Deadpool as a character and like I just thought he was really, really. I really loved the film, and I loved the sequel as well. It had Rob Delaney in it as Peter. And
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Whenever
he
they're the
jumps
what are they
out
called?
of
They
the
call
plane.
the
Huggy
X
Bear.
Force
Is it
or
Huggy-
something.
The
Or
X-Force,
whatever.
Sugar Bear, isn't that what he calls them? Sugar Bear.
Yeah, that's an amazing
Oh
scene.
my god! And I want there to be a third film just to have Rob Delaney back as character.
Brad Pitt was in that too, very briefly.
Yeah, killed off very quickly.
But well, now that Disney have taken over Fox,
The world,
and the world
yeah.
as well, then Rob Delaney, Deadpool, they might all be coming back in the MCU then as well. Who knows?
You never know.
MCU, what's that?
You never know. So
Definitely not related to
so
the question of the
Deadpool.
week anyway.
Yeah, I tried, you guys. I tried.
It's fine. I love that film. It's perfect.
I love that film too. It is good. I will be curious to see how Disney Fox thing works out because like the Avengers stuff is very 12s. Here's the family,
he
and
wears a
Deadpool
strap
is.
You
He
know,
literally.
gets his woman to have a strap on him and plows him. You know,
Yeah,
Disney.
This is true.
It's not going to be
Maybe
the PG cut.
Animated.
There's that spot in the Venn diagram. They'll find
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Between Disney strap-ons.
They've
They'll
got an
find it.
audience right here.
Yeah.
Right here,
we
sorted. Moving swiftly onwards.
Please.
Paul, what did you go for?
I was kind of tossing and turning about my final answer, and I went for something because I preempted Rory's one, and I think we have the same tastes.
Okay.
So I'm going to go for something completely different, which I think is going to have a bigger impact in the future of Marvel. And I went for Ragnarok, which is the third Thor film, because A, it has the greatest character in the MCU, in my opinion, Korg. The man is made of rocks, and his friend Meek, who, to be honest, it's the only thing I'm worried about going into Endgame. I want to know if they're alive. And Rory asked a certain someone that question coming up later. We'll find out.
That's right. Yeah, actually, in your chat with Chris Hemsworth, we won't hear it right now today, but you can check out the full interview with Chris Hemsworth up on Joe. But as you said, you've been very concerned about their well-being for a long time.
I think actually going forward, like the first Thor was good. Branagh kind of had the fish out of water vibe. The second Thor, I don't think they knew what to do with him, with Alan Taylor. And then the third one, it almost felt like, oh, we have to make it. We'll do anything we want. And they went for Taika Waititi, who I love as a director. He actually voices Korg. But aside from that, the action's very good. But you also have, like, you forget, like, there's an orgy spaceship in that. Jeff Goldblum goes full Jeff Goldblum. You got Kate Blanchett as a fantastic villain. Carl Urban as some off-the-wall henchman. It's really funny. And it's the best representation, I think, of Bruce Banner as a character. Between the Hulk and the scientist himself, they kind of incorporate the Planet Hulk arc from the comic books. So a lot of people said, oh, I hate Waititi, you ruined Thor. I was like, no, you just did something completely different. You went down the Guardians route. It's a funnier film than Guardians. And also now looking back, I think a lot of the Marvel stuff, as much as I love it, does tend to have the kind of the same repetition. The Infinity Stones, you know, you had the aerial dogfights. Thor just felt something completely different. The finale scene, it was off the wall. They literally let a madman go and make his own film, and it worked. Like Hemsworth, from what I've read, and I don't know anything about Endgame. Rory will review it later. I always got the impression that I'm done with Marvel now. But from what I've read around, he's like, yeah, I'll be interested. I'll see what they do, and I don't know if that's ever going to happen or not. But they seem like they finally nailed the tone of the character. Just when Thor is like becoming interesting. You want to see what they do with it, and anything Waititi makes, I'm up for it. So, and Korg is easily the best character ever in the MCU. Him and Meek, they have the best friendship. So that's the reason I'll go see Endgame just for that. To see if they're alive.
That's you're pinning all your hopes of Endgame on their survival
And the
basically.
orgy spaceship.
And the orgy, those two things. Yeah. Roy, did you go for the orgy spaceship as well?
In life, yes, but in in the answer to this question, no.
I'm going to see if my preemption was right.
Well, yeah, I've been very vocal
There's
and
no
open
secret.
about my love for the Winter Soldier, which I only rewatched like a week ago. It still holds up fantastically well, and I think it's because like Steve Rogers is so boring as a character, but they actually gave him something to do. He's this guy who's trying to like maintain an ideal in a world where that ideal just does not exist anymore. And they paired him up with ScarJo, and the two of them have like really good chemistry in it. Like it's platonic chemistry, which is hard to maintain because everyone's just like, you're both beautiful. Kiss.
I
And they
always-
do kiss, but it's platonic kiss.
I always just imagine Captain Steve Rogers as being like a Ken doll, basically. Like he's that kind of setup.
there's an
I know he's
article-
had love interests. I
Yeah,
know.
like he's loved people.
Yeah.
Like he's
Did
loved.
you buy it though? He did shift the niece of his girlfriend.
Yeah, I know, but then there's obviously the whole Bucky and Captain Rogers as
Granddaughter.
well.
Was the granddaughter he shifted?
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah,
Yeah,
that-
okay.
That's much better.
Not his granddaughter. That's fine.
No, just the granddaughter of the woman he loved.
Which is
worse?
We've all
She was
been
grown
there.
up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and the action sequences in it are great. They feel very grounded and realistic. There's not a huge amount of special effects until the very end when the three special effects are shooting each other out of the sky. The cast, like Robert Redford's in this one, and you finally like. My only problem with this one is I don't think the Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier thing is great. I think he just looks like an emo with a gun, but he can punch people good.
But as you said, that fight, whenever he's chasing him initially, and they're like jumping off the roads and into the cars, and he kind of stops and just grabs the shield and all. You're like,
It's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
The next.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the best shot in the MCU
It's a
ever.
great,
I love when
great
he punches through the windshield and just rips the driving wheel off.
fight. Yeah,
Driving wheel?
that's what they call it.
Steering
Yeah,
wheel?
yeah. We'll go with driving wheel.
I have a driver, so I don't need to know. And everyone in the car is like, just have to wait for the car to stop before they can do anything. Yeah, no, it's class.
And it gave us the Russos.
yeah, it's Russo's
Oh, that's
first
right,
one.
Russo Bros. That Finnish
Russo
director.
Bros.
Yeah,
Russo Bros.
exactly.
Russo Bros.
Russo Bros. What a talent. Yeah, brilliant films there. Deadpool, obviously.
But it's mad the scale. You think like the Winter Soldier is formidable foe that carried
that's
two
it.
films.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're like, well, he's just literally an ant in this timeline of like Infinity War. Like
Yeah.
he is just a supporting character now.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see again with Endgame how they actually, because I know the running time is
181 minutes.
181.
Worth it.
How many of
Totally
those
worth
minutes is Deadpool in it?
Does he make an appearance?
With the strap on.
You don't, no spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers. So yeah, so those are our favorite films in Marvel, not necessarily Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Marvel.
Marvel. But yeah, so you can let us know your ones as well. It's nearly time for the review, but not yet. Just hold your horses. Just everybody
Callum.
You tease, you.
calm down.
Tease.
Because it's time for the big trailer of the week, and it's over to Justine Stafford for the big trailer.
It's Deadpool, you guys. It's Deadpool. No, big trailer this week. So it is Detective Pikachu. Okay.
Close.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
the same thing, right? He's Marvel. So we've had 3 trailers. This is the 3rd trailer that's come out. So the first one, I was kind of a bit like, oh my god, they're making a live action Pokemon movie. What? And then the second trailer I was a bit excited. And the third one really gets you in the feels because they're playing Wonderful World and it's actually just showing you, getting the first glimpse of what the Pokemon world is going to look like in CGI. And it just looks beautiful.
It looks like Zootropolis.
It's a beautiful world. Yeah. And then with live action of Justice Smith, so the story is his father goes unexpectedly missing and him and Detective Pikachu go on a journey to discover what exactly is going on.
Yeah. Here's a little look at Ryan Reynolds, of course, who plays.
What else?
Just love that
is he?
guy. Yeah.
What else is he?
Ryan Reynolds as
Voicing.
Detective Pikachu in Detective Pikachu.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? Sonic. They're really saying, I love you.
Listen, kid, I know this much. If your dad was here, he would hug you so hard, your bones would pop.
I think to myself,
It is a bit moving at the end because I thought I saw people kind of saying like, "Oh, this one will get to you," but just that little moment between Pikachu and the human gets
But
to you.
they spoon feed you with the song as well. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
already on edge here. It's emotional.
Were you a Pokemon fan growing up?
Yes, I
Okay.
was. And the first one I ever got, my mum and dad got for me the Pokemon game in Spain. So the whole thing was in Spanish. But Pokemon Red, I was like,
Pokemono.
I'm here for this. Yeah, I'm on board. And then I got in English, and then things were so much better.
It's usually clearer. Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah, there was a Pokemon in the bushes, in the long grass. Yeah.
Are you Pokemon fans?
No.
Okay,
Oh.
Paul.
I think I was when it came out first,
Yeah.
but not. It got overwhelming. How many is there now?
It's a
Thousands.
lot, yeah.
How many were there at the start? It was like 150 or something, wasn't it?
It's really progressed, the whole universe of Pokemon.
My two younger brothers were obsessed with it. So I was just a little bit older. And they were mad about Pokemon. Like,
Yeah, I remember they made it was a cartoon film that came out, animation, and
I saw that.
my dad fell asleep in cinema. It was the only film he ever came to, and he just passed out for the whole thing. So I'm going to bring him again, obviously, and
of course.
he'll get a nice
Because he
nap.
looks tired.
Yeah.
He's like, do you need another sleep? Come on. Yeah.
Pokemon.
The chairs are comfy.
Yeah,
Very
they
comfy.
are. Here we are.
Are you a Pokemon fan, Paul?
Squirtle.
Ah.
I'm going to presume that's a
Oh, and are
Pokemon
you a
reference.
Pokemon
Is that a positive?
No, I never watched any of it. Like,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I was actually surprised how many. I saw Bulbasaur, Charmander, I saw Squirtle there. I can recognise a few. I remember
Yeah,
a
like
few
I
heads
won't
there.
even be up to speed with all the latest additions to the universe, but like those good ones, it's just nostalgia right there.
She's
you
going to
know?
dress up as Ash with like your
Yeah,
your
gotta
Pokeball
catch
I
and
them all.
remember Team Rocky
Yeah,
because they were
they were the baddies.
Oh.
they were camp as hell.
Were
and
they
I
brother
thought-
and sister?
Yeah.
Were they? Or were they
Jesse.
right? Or
And I
what was
just
going
noticed
on?
To fight.
Jeez.
I just noticed Jigglypuff there. He's the one that sings, isn't he? Yeah, see,
Nah, man, that's Louis Armstrong. So Detective Pikachu is coming out
It's out 10th of May.
10th of May. Oh, so not
Yeah,
long to wait.
not long to
okay.
wait at all.
Okay.
And
we might
and in a future episode.
we might have a little chat.
We may
Oh,
have
yeah,
a wee chin wag with
Yeah.
Pikachu.
With Pikachu himself.
Now he doesn't say a lot. It's mostly Pika and mostly Chew.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Oh, we can do our Pikachu joke.
Choose that Pika.
Oh,
you dare.
how do you get Pikachu on a bus?
No.
You Pokemon.
That's like that Lady Gaga one. How do you know Lady Gaga? You poker face.
Is she in the film? Who knows?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
What was
10th
the
of
other
May.
one?
The other one was
What's the
what's a
favorite nut?
Pokemon's favorite nut? A Pikachu.
Rory, cross it off.
That was my joke.
What? No, it was his joke.
Well, I mean,
Terrible.
there was a pecan
X's
either.
out
Like
down.
pecan.
Pecan as well.
Pecan.
It's in there.
Pecan Chew.
Anyway, Detective
Anything else to
Pikachu.
talk
Yeah.
about?
No, 10th of May.
May.
Let's get on to Avengers Endgame. So,
yeah.
before we catch up with the stars of the film, here's a little clip of what is probably going to be the biggest film of the year and potentially one of the biggest films of all time.
Take that, Star Wars.
Heroes. It's an old-fashioned notion.
A visionary, a genius, ensuring freedom around the globe.
A symbol to the nation, a hero to the world.
The beacon of hope, shining out across the stars.
I look around at us. You know what I see?
A bunch of a-holes.
Possibility. You think you know how the world works?
The world is changing.
We need heroes.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Avengers Endgame is there was no footage or anything for ages, and then since the kind of the initial bit of footage, they've just been like dropping loads and loads of like little TV spots and stuff, but still not giving away a massive amount of, well, I imagine, of what's happening in the film.
Yeah, like like this one we have running now is remember the
Remember
MCU?
all this stuff?
Remember the 21 movies that don't include Deadpool that are that have made up the franchise so far. So like it's working well by reminding everyone of all the films and also not spoiling too much at the same time.
Okay, so we had a chat with the Russo brothers, which you can go and check out on last week's show. But this week, Chris Hemsworth. You had him one-on-one with Chris Hemsworth.
Dream.
And then
Unattractive.
a 2-on-1 with Scarlett Johansson and Paul Rudd as well. Have you recovered since then? Like, were you excited?
I mean, it's like he's a ridiculously handsome man. She's obviously Scarlett Johansson. Paul Rudd is one of the soundest people
Ageless.
in the world. Like,
Clueless.
he's just like the three of them are just they're top tier. Like, and
They're better human beings than the rest of us.
Combined.
genetically,
Yeah.
and they've just been blessed in every way that people can't be blessed. And
But they don't.
you know what? I'm happy for them.
They don't have this friendship.
Oh, that's
They don't have
see,
this friendship.
They've got a better one with lots of money.
Avengers instead, and
They don't have Omniplex
talented.
chairs, to
Your
be
mom
fair.
doesn't follow them.
My
does
mommy
she?
doesn't follow
You
them
know,
on Twitter. That's true.
Take that, Scarlett Johansson.
And none of them were in Deadpool. So, yeah, they're missing out big time. So what did you get chatting to them about?
Well, you can see the full interviews up on Joe at the minute, but one of the big ones was the last time we spoke to Paul Rudd was for Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we previously did that again. Joe had gifted him with a certificate of Irishness, so for Ant-Man and the Wasp, I asked him, "Where's your certificate?" And he told us it was hanging up in his Irish bar that he has in his house, that he pours Guinness in, and he knows how to do it perfectly. So at the very start of the interview with Scarlett and Paul, we spoke briefly because he was like, "What part of Ireland are you from?" And I was like, "Dublin, blah, 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 this, third." And then we got chatting about how he hasn't invited Scarlett over to his Irish bar yet.
The Irish bar in his
She's
house.
Not friends.
Unhappy.
Yeah, not a happy chap.
If I had an Irish bar at my house, I wouldn't invite any of you over either.
But you would invite Scarlett Johansson to be
I'd
fair.
invite Paul. Because then we could...
Mur?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Show the clip! He hasn't invited you over to his Irish pub in his house?
Oh, I thought you said he got an Irish... what is
I
it?
did. They gave me an honorary, like an Irishman. I have a certification, and it's hanging on the wall in my house.
At your bar?
Yeah.
I haven't been to his bar. I've never been to his house. Where's my invitation?
Oh my God, I'm giving it to you right now.
Well, no,
on
now it's
camera
after
in
the
front of
fact.
us.
It's after the fact. I don't want it, okay?
Oh,
I don't want it. I'm moving
Well,
my arm
speaking-
away, I'm done.
Speaking of
I'm gonna go drink in my own bar.
Where was your invitation for him, for your bar?
Well, I haven't made it yet.
Okay.
The bar.
Future tense.
Yeah, so-
Gotcha.
Okay, so they're off to a feisty start there. She's not happy that she hasn't been invited.
Unhappy.
And he's like, "I'm inviting you now." Yeah.
And he didn't invite you during this. That's a
Do
bit
you know,
ox.
it's a little bit awkward.
I'll pour the
Yeah.
wine.
That never
That'll be
even
fine.
occurred to me.
Yeah, that's a bit ox.
Give me that cert back.
Yeah.
And then obviously Chris Hemsworth, who we don't know, he's fiercely proud Australian. Don't know if he has an Irish bar or not.
Probably not.
But yeah, you got chatting to him about, because he was actually, his interview, he's so lovely and genuine, like really, not that they don't think of, like in these interviews, that they don't think about their answers, but often they'll just give out like kind of sound bites and stuff.
Yeah.
But he seemed like he was genuinely, well, he is an actor, so maybe
He
he's
is,
just
yeah.
pretending.
Yeah, but like, yeah, he did seem invested in...
You.
in giving like intelligent answers, I guess. Like, he wasn't, as you said, sometimes you can interview some people, no shade on Scarlett and Paul, but you can ask them questions and it does feel like, well, this is the answer to that question regardless of what you ask me. Whereas with Chris, it did feel like he was actually thinking and being honest, which was nice because yeah, he as you'll see in the full interview, like, he's very forthright about how he feels his journey as Thor was going, and seems to be have like course corrected a bit as well. So yeah.
Yeah, so you were chatting to them all about, because again, we don't know if any of them are coming back, if some of them are coming back, if none of them are coming back. So you're saying it kind of has that end of school feel to it?
Yeah, like, the comparison I made, and the more I think about it, the less correct it feels, is Return of the King, because like Return of the King didn't potentially go on to have another one. But there is that kind of goodbye forever, or till next time, to the people there. And I was just like, was that a sense, was that a vibe you could feel making the film as well? And this is what he had to say. There is a very kind of Return of the King vibe to this one, where it's like some people are moving on to the next thing, some people might be saying goodbye to for a little while. We don't fully know.
Yeah.
Was that the vibe on set as well, where it's like kind of the last week of school where you're like, I might see you again soon?
It was, and I think at first kind of, I think we all knew it, obviously, that this was sort of the end of this sort of this chapter or these chapters, you know, and there was definitely a greater sort of effort to, you know, we wouldn't all rush back to our trailers in between setups, and then every lunch we'd tend to eat together rather than going our separate ways and so on, and hang out a lot more outside a set. And it did have a real sense of nostalgia and sort of, you know, looking back at sort of what we'd done in the years and when we first came. You know, we played these characters, and Downey orchestrated that a lot. You know,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think because he was the first one in. You know, he really was, you know, reminding us all kind of, look how special this is, and not that any of us there was any lack of appreciation, but the awareness was, I think, sort of kicked off by him in a greater way. And then even on this press tour, it's been that way, and all through LA, we were just in LA, and it was quite strange, kind of talking about it all, and like. Felt like the end of school, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll see you after the holidays or not. And,
I'll see you in college or not.
In college or in the workforce. I don't know.
Fantastic. Chris, thanks so much.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
What a lovely, lovely man. Like, is he?
In every sense.
He is married, isn't he?
He's married, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a family and all. Yeah.
A few years ago, he did Dancing with the Stars in Australia.
Did he?
He did.
What, when he was a massive global superstar? I thought it was only like C-list celebs.
I think it was like around the first Star Trek time.
Right. Okay.
But he can bop.
He can move.
So if you're interested at all in seeing him do the tango or whatever that dance was,
Foxtrot.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's got a favorite dance.
Hey Chris, do the foxtrot for me. Can you do the Macarena, Chris?
I like that you also, because it's a great question about, you know, how was that feeling on set whenever they were like wrapping up Endgame. I love that you attempted to ask Scarlett Johansson and Paul Rudd the same question.
Yeah, like this is the opposite end of giving intelligent,
thoughtful,
invested answer. This was, I feel, from the first question about the Irish bar, Scarlett just never, she couldn't let go of just having not been invited. So there was it did begin with the same question, but we were no longer talking about that by the end of the interview, as you'll see now.
The other thing that it reminds me of a little bit is The Return of the King, where it has a kind of end of an era vibe to it. Now, some of you might still go on and see each other again. It's kind of like the last week of school where you're like, I might see you in college,
well,
or
I'll I
might
see you at
see
your
you
bar,
separately.
I guess.
Well, yeah,
now
at
that
the
I have
bar.
that invite,
Yeah.
so I'll be there every day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna let you come, and you're gonna get to rub the plaque.
Was that the vibe on set as well,
Sounds
where it was
just
like
wrong.
just
I
having to
know,
say
but
goodbye
that's
to people?
why I said it.
Oh,
Rub the plaque.
It's like the thing at the Apollo Theater. You know, you go on stage and you rub you rub the Irish plaque as you enter the pub.
It could be good luck. It could be good luck. Scarlett and Paul, thank you so much.
Yeah, she's obsessed with that bar.
Yeah, well, we all are.
Yeah.
We all want an invite from Paul to his Irish bar.
I wonder what it like. Is it one of those
Rud.
ones that's just the other Paul?
Fine, when I get my Irish bar, you're not getting an invite.
Because he said he got like a proper like Guinness technician, like to install the Guinness tap and stuff. And as well, I wonder, is it like a big full blown one, which he could obviously afford, or is it like one of those like little teeny round ones,
like an Ant-Man,
like a little Ant-Man one? Yeah, exactly.
What is
this? Bar rats?
We spent too much time together.
That was good. Anyway, it's time for the Avengers Friendship Review. Rory, what is the film about? And oh God, is it any good?
Survive. No.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm gonna do?
Spoiler free, just to let everybody. Spoiler free.
Do you know what might be easier?
What?
If you have questions you want to ask.
Okay, yeah, okay, we'll do
So,
20 questions.
Is Deadpool in it?
No.
Aww.
Did you enjoy it?
Hugely.
Hugely. No, because anyone who knows Rory, he doesn't
that's
hugely
tough.
like anything.
Did you cry? Oh, no way.
Did
What?
Did you desperately need to pee after it?
I was okay, actually.
You were okay.
I was okay
That's
for
good.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so hugely enjoyed it. Definitely emotional. This is no Dumbo, folks. This is getting serious.
Yeah.
And you didn't need to pee during it. Okay, another question. So many characters. I know it's a long running time, but does it feel like everybody gets enough time to, as opposed to like, oh, where's that person gone? Oh no, don't say anything. Oh God.
I think the people who are warranted the time get the time.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's 3 hours of rocket.
Yeah, like it is supremely difficult to like even remotely talk about it, but the plot is basically the Avengers have come up with a plan to potentially undo what Thanos has done. And that's all I'm going to say about the plot.
Okay.
But I think everyone knew that. Like, it wasn't like, well, that's the Thanos bit over with.
Yeah, well, at the end of Infinity War, that's what everybody jumped to immediately. They were like, "Oh my God, they're going to go and try something like this." So it'd be interesting
the
to
other
see.
films, you can kind of get it. You can put 2 and 2 together and kind of see what would happen. I haven't seen it yet, but I have a good knowledge of what it is from the MCU.
Yeah, do you feel like you do need to have that kind of understanding of what's happened beforehand, as opposed to like this is a standalone film?
Oh, God, oh no! It's just I can't imagine anyone watching this having not seen like
Deadpool.
Having not seen, I don't know, like maybe 12 of the movies, because it intelligently kind of wraps up the whole of the MCU arc really well.
Okay.
Oh
that's,
my God.
No, that was nice and succinctly done.
Wow.
And those snipers, they haven't taken a shot at you or anything, so you haven't said anything you're not supposed to yet.
Yes.
Yet. Okay, listen, we'll leave it there. The fact that you hugely enjoyed it.
It's very good.
Right.
It's really good. It's emotional.
Everyone in it is really, really good. Everyone is like, this is, we're all perfectly at home in this now.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. The arc they take Thor on, I was like, woo. Was questionable, but everyone else, and it is
Would
hugely
it be
emotional.
too much of a leading question to rank it in terms of Avengers movies? Not
Rank
the
in
MCU.
terms of
of the Avengers,
Assemble,
Ultron,
Infinity War.
As in how good it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best of.
Oh, you have.
of all.
Holy moly!
It's maybe my second favorite after Winter Soldier.
Okay.
But I will have to go see it again.
No, of course. Okay.
One thing I will say.
Yes.
No post credits.
Oh, really? That's a
Nothing.
first for Marvel.
No post credits.
I would have thought Spider-Man Far From Home would have got something, because we all know that's coming. We've seen the trailers.
It's coming out in July. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no mid, no post, nothing.
That's mad, and they've announced.
People will still wait. People will still sit there,
No,
even though we've said that.
No, there is a teeny like nothing. There's a nothing reason to wait, and it will be enough for people to wait.
Oh, of course,
Oh,
I'm
I'm still
waiting.
gonna wait.
I'm waiting
Of course you will.
regardless. Yeah.
Is that-
Okay.
And you'll do it, and you'll be like, what?
Why did I wait?
Those
Yeah.
credits are so long.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying, is Spider-Man the only Marvel film that's currently filming after this, right now?
They have
Guardians 3?
That's been announced, but it's not filming yet.
Yeah, it's the only other one that's actually been confirmed is Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
The which will be Marvel's first Asian-fronted superhero movie, but that's the only one that's been like definite.
Yeah.
Definite. And that's because Shang-Chi is not in Endgame. And anything else, they can't be like, oh, if we announce this, then that it will just be like, oh, well, we know
Giving away something.
they've made it.
Okay, so Avengers Endgame is out in Omniplex cinemas, well, this week, basically. You don't need me to tell you that. Everybody's going to see it anyway. So, oh, God, I can't wait. Okay, well...
I can't wait for you all to see it.
Yeah, so we can actually talk about it a bit more. Maybe we'll do like a spoiler special.
No Deadpool.
Fair play to some other films who decided to release this week as well, which is remarkable. I suppose, yeah, like there are like people out there who won't be going to see Endgame, so they want to put on a little bit of
people who stumble into the wrong cinema
counter programming.
What do you mean it's sold out?
But one of those is 8th grade. But before we hear Justine's review of it, here's a little clip of the film.
Most quiet, Kayla Day.
I don't talk a lot at school, but if people talk to me and stuff, they'd find out that I'm like really funny and cool and talkative.
By the way, I like your shirt a lot. It's like so cool. What?
One more week of 8th grade, huh?
Huh?
I said one more week of 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, huh?
8th grade, as much as this looks amazing, I'm still going to see Endgame, but I will definitely going to be seeing 8th grade.
You
as well.
should, because I don't know, you saw too, Rory.
I did.
It's such a good film. It reminds me of that awkward phase of being in 8th grade or 6th class as well.
That's right. We had this. It's
yeah.
6th class, P7 in 8th grade.
Yes.
What the hell is P7?
P7's in the north, so it is. You can't just ignore us up there, you birds. Dairy girls. How you doing?
What's that joke? It's like 6, 7, 8, no, 7, 8, 9, something.
That's not a joke, that's
counting.
counting.
It's counting.
Those-
8, like 8, 9.
Oh, 7.
Oh, right.
Why
right.
is 9 afraid
Why
of
is-
7?
That's
There
it.
we go.
Yeah,
Because
because 7,
7,
8, 9.
8,
No,
9.
And that's
but
not
the 9's
you.
already dead then.
Why are the other numbers afraid of 7?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
7, 8, 9.
You're taking a strange tangent.
Nailed it. And tell me, does that come up in the film?
It does, and I'm glad you asked.
There's a whole counting subplot.
So it tells the story of Kayla, who's played by Elsie Fisher, who is a fantastic young
Amazing.
actress. She's really a big future for this gal, I think. But it kind of just shows how social media is really influencing kids growing up these days, and there's a big difference between growing up now. And I'd be terrified to grow up now because your whole life is on social media. Like, whatever about that awkward phase when I had no eyebrows and makeup everywhere, at least no one saw it. There's no photographic evidence. Like, today...
You want to bet? Can we get a look at the screen here? Yeah, No.
When I cut my own fringe, because like, I can do this. Like, no, there's no photographic evidence of that. But it's a really... just a lovely film, I think.
It is. It's at times unbearably uncomfortable to watch.
Yes.
Like, I was like, just not wanting it to continue down the road it was going because it was so relatably awkward at times. But the fact that Bo Burnham wrote and directed it, like how was he able to like channel the mind of a 12-year-old girl so perfectly?
It's interesting because he talks about how that was his biggest audience. And whenever he did...
And who did you talk to about that?
He actually spoke to... I spoke to him about it. And I was just saying that whenever he would do stand-up gigs, the majority of people coming up to it afterwards were 12, 13-year-old girls who related most to his comedy, who could really relate. So he didn't want to put it as himself. He thought people would think it was a story about him, so that's why he channeled it through a character of female voice, and he found it a lot easier to find and talk through. And
Yeah, because we're going to have Bo Burnham on the show next week because he was in Dublin a few weeks back and you got a chance to have a wee chat with him.
So, chat all about the film. But I just find it interesting because I loved his stand-up comedy and that he suffers from anxiety and finds now making films a far more easier mode to like create content with, because with stand-up you're performing and that whole rush of anxiety whereby you can sit back and relax when someone's watching your film and you're just watching it with them. And it's very interesting to hear him talk about that because I could relate to that with it.
Yeah, as you were saying, like big things happening probably for the lead actress in it, but for Bo Burnham then as well because he's obviously this is his feature debut and like it's obviously a remarkable film.
And I do think he was snubbed a bit for not getting
I think so too.
directorial at the Oscars this year.
Or even screenplay.
Original.
Yeah, it was one of those like hidden gem things that we're going to spend the next 10 years telling people, like, have you not seen it? Sit down and watch it. It's so good. And it is so good. And yeah, like on the one hand, you're like, oh, up against Endgame. But as you said, there are a lot of people out there who just aren't MCU fans. So if you are going to the cinema, make sure you see it because it's one of my favourite films I've seen this year so far.
Watch Endgame, pee, then go see that.
Yeah. That's a
Done.
great plan. So Endgame, go to the toilet, and then go and watch 8th Grade. Perfect. There is another release out this week, though, an Irish film, The Dig, starring none other than Mo Dumford, who was in here in the Big Reviewski set. We just found him hiding under one of the chairs one day. We're like, get out of here, Mo!
You've got room for Mo Dumford and The Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a green room.
But there is a bonus feature, or is it a bonus feature? What?
That's
for next week. We're doing that. That's for next week.
Got a little excited.
Am I getting a tick or an X?
I feel
Your
that's
face
an
says
X.
tick. His face says tick.
Your face says tick.
Big tick energy. But yeah, so The Dig is out this week as well.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
We'll go to a clip.
Yeah. So let's go to a clip.
Look at it! Where is she?
Okay, Rory, now that we've seen a clip of the dig, what's it all
I know,
about?
sorry for pushing the clip of the dig on top.
Put the clip on again.
More clips. Mo Dunford plays a man who's just been released from prison after 15 years for the murder of his then girlfriend. And he comes back to his house and it's basically abandoned and he's planning on selling it, but he looks out into his, I guess you'd say garden, but he owns a huge plot of land and he sees a man out there digging a hole and can see that he's dug several hundred holes, I guess, over the last 15 years. And he goes up and it's the dad of the murdered girl. And the dad is convinced that Mo has buried the body of the girl in his land because the body was never actually discovered, but he was imprisoned anyway. So initially tries to get him off his land, and then he actually starts to help him dig up the dig into the holes because the night the girl went missing, Mo got blackout drunk and doesn't remember where he put the body. So he actually starts to get as invested as the dad to see where the daughter is.
Right, because Mo Dunford is obviously one of Ireland's, most exciting acting talents, and he has, especially like in Irish films, he hasn't like really gone outside of Ireland yet.
No,
It's more like kind of Michael Inside. He's brilliant in that. Patrick's Day as well, where he kind of had his breakthrough role. Rosie as well, and
Vikings,
he had a bit
people
part.
know him from Vikings as
Of
well.
course, yeah. So, just a really excellent Irish young actor.
Yeah, he seems naturally drawn to darker, nastier people in his roles. Like he was even in Handsome Devil, but he was the awful homophobic rugby teacher in that as well. So even in a light comedy, he's like the bad guy. So yeah, he does the heavy stuff really well. And oh Christ, this film is heavy. Like it's only an hour and a half long, but it's so dour and foreboding, and it's there's 4 speaking parts in the whole film. The 2 of them, the dad and Mo, and then a police officer who just lives nearby, and then the sister of the missing girl as well. So it's a small enough film. It's the exact opposite of Avengers Endgame. Like one set.
Do
pretty
all
much.
the people get enough time?
They get enough time. It's well acted. It's well shot. Didn't really care for the ending.
Okay.
And it is a tough watch. But on the other hand, it's something different from Irish film. It's not the regular kind of misery porn drama. There is a kind of not quite a thrillery element, but like not even that, because that was more of a dark comedy. This is like it's just more of a mystery drama. So you will watch it and you will stick with it because you will want to know how it turns out.
Yeah.
And I'd say the ending will divide
Okay.
a lot of people. Like, it will be a talking point ending. Like I was a bit like, oh, I don't know about that, but like I know other people have seen it and they're like, oh, the ending really, really worked for me.
Yeah.
So it will get people talking.
Okay, so it's another week where you're spoiled for choice on Omniplex Cinemas. Obviously, Avengers Endgame is out, 8th grade, another brilliant film, and then The Dig for something dark and dirty as well.
You do notice someone is going to do all 3 of them in one sit down.
Go.
And I
So what's your
applaud them.
schedule now? It's Avengers Endgame, P,
Yeah.
8th grade.
Food, probably.
Food. And then
Probably, yeah.
and then The Dig.
Yeah, and probably pee again.
Yeah. What a day.
What a life.
What a life.
What a cinema.
Yeah. So now it's time to announce the winner. Well, we actually announced the winner online the other day because the premiere of Avengers Endgame has happened here in Ireland. And I want to say a big congratulations to, to everybody who did spot the mystery Marvel connection between our last 3 weeks of High Clues. Because we were wondering, like, are people going to get this? Or how's this going to work? Loads of people got the connection. So thanks a million for entering the competition. People really wanted to see that film. But the person who was randomly chosen out of the hat, and you can thank Paul Moore for randomly choosing you out as well, was...
My male football team.
Yeah.
The jersey I used to wear, number 4.
Oh, is that what it
That
was?
was it, yeah.
So Rory Hamilton.
So close.
Was so close. Who is our newly discovered High Clue High Master? Who we'll have a look at the High Clues now. So the one from 3 weeks ago was Freezing Green Christmas, Princess Mary Banks on Him, Deadly Balloon Show.
Oh, you can finally
We
answer
can
them
say
all.
what the answers are now.
Oh
So,
my God, the weight of relief.
Yeah, I know. So here we go. We'll rattle through these because there's a bunch of them. So the answer to this one was The Mask. And so we go back and have a look at it. Freezing Green Christmas was in relation to Jim Carrey, because he freezes in The Mask. He's also green, obviously, and Christmas is his surname in Dumb and Dumber. So there was that.
Grinch as well.
And the Grinch makes you think of the Grinch as well. The middle line, Princess Mary, banks on him. Princess, one of the famous film princesses, is Princess Fiona in Shrek. And Shrek the Third. Mary, there's something about Mary, so those are both references to Cameron Diaz. Banks on him. She's relying on the mask in it, and he also works in a bank as well. Deadly Balloon Show was the scene in the alley when he has the balloons and he makes the Tommy gun. And he shoots the criminals. Of course, Jim Carrey plays Stanley Ipkiss in that film. So that was the first high clue. The second one was Miserable Kyle. Fashionable Caesar's kind.
Don't say
Just
it.
read
Don't
it
say
yourselves.
It.
Hellish company. So Miserable Kyle, Fashionable Caesar's kind, Hellish company. I can't help it. I don't know any Kyles in real life. And the answer to that one was The Devil Wears Prada.
So when you're saying like the Terminator, are you like Kyle Reese?
Kyle Reese. There's Kyle Reese there. So as I said, yeah, Devil Wears Prada. The first line was Miserable Kyle was in relation to Anne Hathaway. She plays Selena Kyle, Catwoman. And also, what did I say? Catwoman.
Catwoman.
And miserable because she's unhappy in her job, and also it's a reference to Les Mis. Fashionable Caesar's kind.
You're just putting it on now. You're putting it
With
on.
them was a relation in relation to Stanley Tucci's character. He's fashionable. He's kind to her, and he also plays Caesar in the Hunger Games films. And the last line, hellish company. So the company, the other people that she works with, are obviously really nasty, but also hellish. Was The Devil Wears Prada. So that was that one. So that's two. So you have Stanley Ipkiss and you have Stanley Tucci, and the final high clue. From last week was Randall's the dull type, bomb-loving boss overlooks, murders back to front. I think this one was a wee bit of an easy one. The answer, of course, was The Shining. It doesn't work for that one. Randall's. So Randall is a reference to Randall McMurphy. Jack Nicholson's character in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
His best film.
The dull type, because he's typing, he says, "Oh, work and no play makes Jack a dull boy." Bomb-loving boss overlooks. The boss is the director, Stanley Kubrick. He loves the bomb in Doctor Strangelove, and overlooks because he's in charge of everything, and also it's set in the Overlook Hotel. And the last line, murders back to front, which is a plot point because red rum. Peely. Free ad from McDonald's. Okay. Murders back to front. I didn't know. So anyway, that's all those. So as we said, the director of that one was Stanley Kubrick. So you had three Stanleys: Stanley Ipkiss, Stanley Tucci, and Stanley Kubrick. And they were all in reference to a Marvel legend. Showgirls, yeah. Stan
Deadpool.
Lee. So as I said, loads of people got it correct, so congratulations. And as I said, a very special congratulations to Rory Hamilton.
Thank you.
I mean, the film.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Definitely. Oh, so many high clues.
If only we, thank God we've no more.
Maybe there's one more.
What?
Yeah, okay, this is the last one, but this is for Omniplex tickets. You can have a chance to win these. We'll put it. No, there's no Kyle this time. So this week's one, which is completely separate from from Marvel films. It's Space Cowboys Suit Up, cover letter for Fresh Job, Pugs Better Than Bug. And now we go live to our syllable correspondent, Justine Stafford.
Checks out, guys.
Checks out. So we're allowed to do this one.
We're allowed to go with this.
Space Cowboys Suit Up, cover letter for Fresh Job, Pugs Better Than Bug. For anybody listening, Pugs is Pug apostrophe S as well. So
that's a very easy one.
You think that's a very easy one? Okay. Any Justine? Rory?
Something in the
Thoughts?
first line.
No.
No.
Not coming yet. Not coming yet.
Not at the moment. But
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like what movie has cowboys in space.
Yeah, that's the
Cowboys in space.
I think.
What do you
very
reckon
confident.
has it for you?
I think if you look at the backdrop of the screen, I think it's a massive
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. All right.
That's what I
Extra clues there.
Well, it's there. It could be the big competition. It could be the Reds.
Could be.
I think there's something there.
Anyway, we have Omniplex tickets up for grabs. So, yeah, you can enter that competition up on Joe. Keep an eye out on social as well. And again, that's pretty much it for this week. We have Bo Burnham, the writer and director of 8th Grade, on the show next week. And we're also going to have Mo Dumford as well. So, Bo here on Joe. So you can look forward to that as well. In the meantime, everyone needs to go and see Avengers Endgame.
I have.
But I'm
going to go see it again.
I'm going to sit in the dark. There's 3 good films here. So yeah, I'm just going to sit in the dark.
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
All 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, and not watch any of them.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
So let me tell you how Endgame actually
Okay.
is.
Cut.